Holy Bitcoin options. My God, what do the options trading and volume tell us? One ETF expert believes the volume we've seen from options on Bitcoin in one day signifies a doubling in price of Bitcoin strictly from the options. We have a video I want to share with you. Also, is Microsoft about to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet? What other companies has Michael Saylor been talking with? What is Charles Hoskinson up to? We have a brand new post to share with you that was just put out by Bitcoin Magazine. What Donald Trump is looking to do and who's going to play crucial roles in crypto policy moving forward. We're going to take a look at some Avalanche statistics. Is Avalanche prime for a breakout? We've seen Solana run. We've seen Sui run. We're now seeing Cardano run. Avalanche hasn't really ran. Is this the time to get into Avalanche? We'll have that discussion. What about XRP? What about XLM? Some of the money moving coins and money transmitter coins, are those a good play right now? We'll have that discussion and much, much more in today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take old, boring, and stale information and repackage that thing up in a fun and sexy way. This morning, we broke all-time highs yet again. Are we going to get to $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of the week like I have so eloquently predicted on Monday?
It wasn't really eloquent, but yeah.
It was. You tattooed it on your arm as well. So we do expect a late rally for Bitcoin coming up this week. I would expect perhaps even tonight that we get to that LexNet leg up and hit that pivotal 95K mark. Do you think the 95K is... Well, it was very...
It's a wick.
Yeah, it wasn't. Go back to the charts. From 94.85 was where I...
Yeah. Well, my chart says...
I know there might have been a wick on...
My chart says 95 flat.
Yeah. So when are we going to get over 95,000? I think honestly by the end of the day, I think that the movements that we've seen, what we're seeing in the options market, what we're seeing in the spot market, what we're seeing with the largest companies globally is finally getting exposure to Bitcoin. We have Microsoft going to have their shareholder meeting where, well, none other than Michael Saylor has been invited to speak. Yes, 3 minutes on the floor. What do you think Michael Saylor is going to say to the board at Microsoft when they're voting?
You know what I would do?
Perhaps a Bitcoin strategy.
You know what I would do?
3 minutes.
It's very simple. Is that true? 3 minutes? Is all
he has 3 minutes. Yeah.
Very simple. Michael Saylor, if you're watching, here's some advice.
Just play our intro?
No. Walk up in there. Have a sheet showing MicroStrategy's stock and valuation prior to the Bitcoin adoption, and have one currently. MicroStrategy just crossed $100 billion in value, the stock, the company. What was it before Bitcoin, and what was it after Bitcoin? And if they can't see it after that, then that's all you need, man. You need the 30 seconds.
No, I have a better idea. Just go in there and drop...
scream all at the top of your lungs?
No. Drop off the Crypto Almanac on their desk. Be like, read that, brother. Read that.
Man, we're close, guys.
Yeah,
it's happening. Almanac is done. Final revisions were made yesterday. Pre-orders are going to be opening up. You can spend your dirty fiat, or if you'd like to, you can spend your crypto as well. Some of your favorites, including Solana, Ethereum, Caspa, ICP, Cardano. So it's going to be exciting. Now, I started off my intro with the price of Bitcoin doubling. Look at this. This is from Eric Balkunis, the senior ETF analyst at Bloomberg. Bitcoin ETF options trading on day one indicates the price of Bitcoin will double in the next month. Robin, are we about to get $180,000 Bitcoin by Christmas?
By Christmas, huh?
This is someone who's not a Bitcoin maxi. I don't even know if he has any Bitcoin. This is someone who is an ETF analyst for Bloomberg. And he's saying, right, this is his arena, right? ETFs. He's saying the day one trading indicates Bitcoin's price is going to double in a month.
Well, I mean, that's if you go on the calls and...
Don't overthink it, bro. Don't overthink it.
We're not going to get to 180K. Not next month.
So you're saying Eric is talking out of his ass? Is that what you're saying? Robin, this isn't.
It's not.
Hold on, man.
I don't think it's a wild
This
number.
isn't a Bitcoin cheerleader. This isn't Rob Paul. This isn't Standard Chartered. This isn't Michael Saylor.
I'm just saying that smart people look at data and they come up with their own numbers. And you know what? You look at a certain set of data, you're going to come up with numbers. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the man's credibility or his intelligence. I'm just saying that, like, I know more about crypto than he does. He knows more about ETFs than I do. And in my area of expertise, my personal opinion is that $180,000 Bitcoin is a little much.
Why?
Do you want me to just go through and explain? Okay, well, you have the market cap. How much is going to move? Like, I'm not going to explain to you all of the different factors that come into my reasoning, but I'm just saying that from my personal experience, looking at the charts, looking at how much Bitcoin moves, it hasn't 2x'd in a 1 month period, and since what, 2017? I mean, we saw how much money went into Bitcoin. I mean, when's the last time it 2x'd in a month? I mean, even in 2020, I mean, there might have been an example of it, but you're not 2xing when it reaches all-time highs. I mean, we're like we are now, right? I don't know, man. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Now, I don't know. I mean, you can look at it, but I don't see. Is there any 100% gains on that chart, David, in 1 month? Rocco, can you pull up his laptop, please? David's computer. Can you pull it up?
Yeah, in 2013.
So in 2013. So since
4.5x.
So in 2013, that was the last time we saw a 100% month.
Yeah. Plus,
so I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you have? You're giving me grief over here for disagreeing. Do you have a case? I'm trying to. You asked me like 7 times. Why? So I'm asking you.
Why?
Why are you grilling me on that? I mean, the analytics clearly say that it's highly unlikely. And is it possible? Sure. I mean, why not? I mean, we've seen big moves out of Bitcoin, but I mean, I don't know
why. I'm kidding. I just think it's interesting, right? When Standard Chartered comes out with their predictions, Bitcoin to 200,000 by the end of the year, they do that all the time, right? Their numbers are usually inflated, right? It's just like hopium, some say, right? You got Michael Saylor, Jack Mallers, all these people that say Bitcoin is going to get to a $200 trillion asset. Maybe it'll get there, maybe it won't. But you have someone who is not even in crypto that is looking strictly at data and analytics and saying, look, the trading that we saw on day one, if we were to extrapolate that out, Bitcoin's price should double in 30 days. Now, will it? I don't know. But all I'm saying is the dude's got no subjective opinion one way or the other.
He also isn't a crypto degen. He hasn't been
right. So he's looking at strictly numbers and probably what he's seen.
Let me ask you: is it possible the price of gold would double in a month?
No, but
the ETF holdings for BlackRock in Bitcoin has surpassed what it is in gold. And so if you were to say, hey, the price of gold is going to double, I'm sure he would laugh at it because he's very familiar with the price of gold. And so I'm sorry, man, all props to Air, but I mean, you're wrong on that one, bro. I mean, or at least you more than likely will be. I mean, anything can happen with Bitcoin. We've seen that it has had massive runs. Could we see a 60% rally in Bitcoin? Absolutely. 70%, it's on the table. 80 starts to get a little ambitious. That $150,000 Bitcoin in less than 30 days. It's plausible. I think,
Rob,
if we do get a move of 100% in a 1 month window, I think it's off the back of the strategic Bitcoin reserve. I mean, barring that.
You know what's funny is you threw out what, 50, 60%? You said, okay. We haven't had a 50, 60% move in Bitcoin since...
There's one in 2017, right?
2019 was a 53% move in Bitcoin. That was in the month of May. Prior to that, it was also in May of 2017. That was a 52% move. And then you had 2013, which was just, you had massive months, right? Like I think the average in 2017 was or in 2013 was over 100%. If you were to add them up, divide them, combine them, it's over 100%. So
one last example of smart people making ambitious calls. I remember Chamath put a $1 million. That
was Balaji.
Oh no, Balaji, that's right. Yeah, he put in a $1 million.
But
that Bitcoin would get to $1 million.
To be fair to Balaji, he knew it wasn't going to get to $1 million. He just did it to bring eyeballs to Bitcoin. He said that publicly. He's like, look, I knew I was going to lose $1 million. I knew Bitcoin wasn't going to get to $1 million, but I knew all the news outlets were going to pick it up. And so that's why he did it. But either way, it's just interesting to see. And then you have his partner, James Seyfert, has been on our show multiple times. Final tally of IBIT's first day of options is just shy of $1.9 billion in notional exposure traded via 354,000 contract, which 289,000 were calls. That is a ratio of 4.5 to 1. Guys, that is a massive ratio. Taken from someone who's been in the options game trading for a long time. That ratio is huge. 4.5 to 1 on calls versus puts. The premium that these people are paying for these option contracts must be off the charts. These options were almost certainly part of the move to the new Bitcoin all-time highs today. So you can see here again, 82% of those were call options.
Isn't that scary though?
Why does it scare you?
Because for a whale, for big smart money, people that have billions of dollars, that perhaps they'll try to push the market down to cash in on that, right? What we've seen when the market steps too far one way, you get smart money comes back and takes advantage of the market.
Oh, there's definitely going to be shorters, right? They're 100%. People are going to try to find a position.
But look how much money is going to have to get paid out if Bitcoin keeps rallying, right?
Robin, this is settled in BTC.
No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that
so what's
the amount of money that's on the table here is astronomical if it falls short, right? If we were to find ourselves, say by Christmas, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but it's just something to take into account. Let's just say that in December we're at $80,000 Bitcoin as an example.
Okay.
How much money do you think that small piece of that pie makes? You think that I don't know. I'm just saying that, like, that's a lot of leverage in the market, a lot of leverage. And what do we see with longs and shorts on our traditional exchanges when it comes to your leverage, right? When you get way too many longs, what happens to the market? The market, a lot of times you get these massive liquidation candles. The price drops significantly. And we've seen that time and time again in our own space. If you think it won't happen in Wall Street because traditional money is piled in heavy on going long on Bitcoin, I wouldn't be surprised if very strong forces come in with money and influence the price right to the downside.
You can argue to the upside too.
I mean, yeah, I tend to say the market moves against the tide, right? The market tends to move against the masses, right? When everyone is saying this is going to happen, when everyone in Wall Street's betting on Bitcoin going long. Now I still believe that we'll get to that $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. And so for me, I think that there's going to be a massive payout. I think that it's going to be euphoria, but it's just something to think about. I mean, I would just say proceed with caution because there's a lot of people expecting to make money, and there's going to be some people that want to take advantage of that, right?
Well, it's in every market.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's in every market and every time when the pendulum swings too hard in one direction, it corrects, right? You don't find that concerning that 82% of positions on the Bitcoin price is in calls versus puts? That's a lot of damn money. Did they say what the value? What was the total?
It was $1.9 billion.
So it's probably like 1.5 billion is on longs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what you got to remember.
If you were looking at exchange longs and shorts, wouldn't you say, hey guys, the market is the fuel there, right? The brush underneath the forest is ready for a match, right?
What's interesting with options, though, is when those contracts are exercised, when these call options are exercised, they get delivered the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Now, what are they going to do with the Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Are they gonna...
95% of them won't take.
So if they put their call option in at a strike price of, let's say, $90,000, and Bitcoin's at 100K, and they exercise their call option, and let's say it's 100 Bitcoin.
But realistically, what is the percentage of people that are going to do that? It's in the stock
option?
In the stock market world, it's a minute percentage
to exercise their option.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't exercise their option.
I mean, if you're in the green, you exercise your option.
No, a lot of times people.
That just depends. Are you gonna, when you get your shares? This is in the stock market. When you get your shares, are you gonna hold on to them or are you gonna sell them? Right. That usually all happens on the back end of like a Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, one of your trading accounts. But with these ones, I guess you can say same thing. So will those get sold in the market, or will they just hold on to the Bitcoin and say, you know what? I bought this call option at 90K. Bitcoin's at 150. I got a pretty good deal here. I'm going to hold on to my Bitcoin. Or are they going to say, hey, let me flip this 80 to 150, sell the Bitcoin? Is that selling going to be OTC? Is it going to be on the order books? That we don't know. But of course, it's
approximately 10% of option contracts are exercised. So
as far as receiving the stock,
that's per the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. Approximately 10% of option contracts are exercised.
Exercise meaning they get their stock or whatever commodity.
They usually close their position. Yeah, they usually sell or close their position early.
Yeah. So. And then, like I said, everything hands on back end. So it'll be interesting to see, right? Even 10% though, right? That's $800 million.
Yeah, and I think that 10%, and I think it's going to be, if you were to compare exercised options in Bitcoin versus the others, you know what I mean, outside of crypto, I think that you're going to see a higher percentage of exercise options in Bitcoin for exactly that reason. So I think that maybe the bar is 10% for the average. I wouldn't be surprised to see 15, 20% out of that as well. But
very interesting. I want us to watch a video here. This is Andrew Sorkin on CNBC, and they were discussing the Bitcoin options.
So the price of Bitcoin near an all-time high, getting closer now to the $94,000 level. And this happening as ETF options going live, giving investors a new way to hedge their exposure. Kenzie Segalis is here, joins us with more this morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Andrew.
So what's going on?
Is what U.S. crypto investors have been waiting for. On Tuesday, the NASDAQ listed options on BlackRock's $44 billion spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, day one of trading showed that more than 80% of options volume were call orders to buy Bitcoin, meaning that investors are betting that the token is poised for even more gains. And this is just the first of the U.S.-based asset issuers to offer options. The other 10 providers will soon follow suit, with several more slated to list on the New York Stock Exchange later today. Now, this is really a significant moment for Bitcoin adoption, because rather than just buying and holding the asset, this next stage is all about creating a new margin framework for Bitcoin so that you can amplify your returns. Being able to hedge positions and make leveraged bets is a big draw both to retail and to institutions. And even though we've seen a lot of trading volume on the CME derivatives exchange, getting options tied to these spot crypto products on the NASDAQ and NYSE is a big unlock for traders, because ultimately, Andrew, a more robust onshore derivatives market is how you attract fresh investment, which is a tailwind for the price of Bitcoin.
It really boggles the mind what I was just thinking about. You could write calls. You could write calls. You could buy puts to protect your downside. You could sell puts to acquire Bitcoin at a lower price than where it is. You can do spreads. You can do straddles. The volatility is so high, the option premiums must be exorbitant. So you could sell options.
But so
That's an interesting one, right? The straddles. There is techniques in options trading that allows you to make money if the price of the stock trades sideways, right? It's called an iron condor. And so I'm not going to get into details of it, but if you can apply that to Bitcoin, if you would have done that from March to September, you would have made a lot of money, right? Instead of trying to time the top, time the bottom, long, short, you throw in an options contract, you do an iron condor, and bam, price just bounces up and down in that range, and you make money. Those options will be available as well. There's only about a minute left of the video. I want to just finish the video here.
The question is, does the volatility come down materially?
And that's what a lot of analysts say will happen. Yes.
And if that happens, but does that then put a cap on it, or does that...
Can it happen? Because that's a tail wagging the dog. Because Bitcoin is in here. Yeah, but by definition, Bitcoin has been volatile. Do you think options really could lessen the volatility of the underlying asset?
I mean, that's what some analysts are saying, especially as you build out a more robust market infrastructure around this, you bring in more institutional money. And what I will say in terms of like building out what you can do with these spot crypto products, you've got Grayscale updating its prospectus just this week to do a covered call ETF for Bitcoin. So you're seeing that those are the products that these issuers are indexing toward rather than having to, spot funds around all of these altcoins.
Because you just mentioned 80% of the volume is in calls, so that must mean they're rich premiums, and the calls, you could sell those, and if it doesn't hit it, you just keep that premium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In our almanac that we're opening up pre-orders soon here, there's an entire write-up on ETFs, and not just Bitcoin and ETH, but moving forward and what that means for some of your favorite tokens like Solana, like Sui, like maybe Caspa, like Dogecoin. And so make sure that when you buy your almanac, obviously read the whole thing, but that's an area that was one of my favorite write-ups, was the ETFs moving forward. What is it going to look like 2025 and beyond? I do want to give a big... Rocco, do we have a sponsor today? No sponsor today. All right, cool. Either way, thank you to all the sponsors. Also, if you're, speaking of trading, if you're a trader, we partner with Buy DeFi. There's a link in the description. You get 15% in bonuses. Beautiful platform. It's available in the United States. No VPN, no go-arounds. Also, you can trade up to 200x leverage on Bitcoin. Not recommended, but if you're an absolute degen, feel free to do so. And no KYC either. So all the important things.
I did want to give a little love to the chat, and also I'd like you to get the perspective of our viewer on our discussion here on the price of Bitcoin going parabolic next month. We'll throw a modest number out there. Do you think that, and we did a poll here earlier, and the poll was, will Bitcoin hit 100K by the end of the week? 60% of you have said yes so far, 40% no. So we understand where our community thinks the price is going to go, but where do you think it is next month, say by Christmas? Do you think that the price of Bitcoin hits 140,000? Put a 1 in the chat if you think 140,000 by Christmas is on the table. Put a 2 in the chat if you think that's a little too ambitious. We won't quite get there. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Also, if you
don't be scared.
If you're new here, say something. We'd love to give you a little shout out. A few new faces: Cali CPS, Tessa Doug, Bit Bunny. Also, we have Joel Taylor, Fiat, Zash, Stormy, Rolo, Dr. Payne.
Wait, Stormy?
Yeah.
Stormy
and
Daniels?
No, not Stormy Daniels. And so to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, we got a couple of super chats as well. Pool guy is asking.
American Pool Guy
is asking if we can do a tax video. We do have a friend of the channel where
he does taxes.
Yeah, he does
Ernest.
taxes. Yeah, Ernest from Decrypt.tax. And then also Billy said Sin City option trading course, subscription only. We do have we have a Patreon in the works where we're going to focus more on trading as well. So that should be hitting availability next month. So it's in the works. A lot of 2s. A lot of people are doubting $140,000 Bitcoin. What's going on? I thought y'all were bullish.
It's your fault.
It's my fault?
You were bearish.
No, you trying to say that I influence people that much?
Yeah, man, you're an influencer. You're Big Rob.
Yeah.
The Robstradamus.
If you haven't yet,
these are all names you've given yourself.
Haven't yet put a 1 or 2, please join in the conversation. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, I'm done with the speculation. Is Charles Hoskinson? He's meeting with Trump, dude. Look at this. Trump administration is considering creating the first ever White House crypto roll.
Also, speaking of Charles Hoskinson, he did just tweet out. I don't know if you saw this yet, but Charles said, with respect to the idea of a crypto czar, I feel like the role needs to be filled with someone who is neutral. So I think he's taken himself off the table with that statement. Works with all the protocols, deep understanding of why crypto is special, as well as what the U.S. government under Biden has done wrong. The only candidate that stands out is Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase. So we have an endorsement for that role by Charles Hoskinson for Brian Armstrong to be the quote unquote crypto czar, if there is one.
You really just shit on me right now? You just shit on
That's
me.
what I do, man.
You really just shit on me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I do.
All right, bro.
I didn't shit on you, Charles.
No,
did.
you shit on me. That's
Why
fine.
don't you
set my ass up?
Text?
You could have told me. No, hold on,
text
bro.
Charles
Hold
and say,
up.
Hey, Charles, why you
coulda
poop on me? Why you poop on me, bro?
Before I made that comment, you could have said, hey, man, you see the Charles thing? I don't think it's going to happen. But you chose not to. You set my ass up. I got you, man.
I didn't know you were going to say that. And then
Don't
you
worry
said
about
it, and I was like,
Okay.
hey,
I got
by
you,
the
man.
way, you're looking dumb right now.
Don't
How
worry,
you
bro.
doing?
I got you.
It's
Yeah,
okay,
you're good.
man. You know.
Anyways, interesting though. Hoskinson, so he's met with or spoken to Garlinghouse, Joel Katz from Joel, what's his last name? Schwartz from Ripple, right? Talking about Midnight, talking about maybe integrating RLUSD. He's met with Jed McCaleb from XLM. He's met with Lehman Baird from Hedera. He's met with a lot of the top people in our space. In his AMA, he also mentioned he's going to a Solana convention next year.
Yeah, here's the thing.
So I think Charles is rallying the troops.
Now, just because you're at the head of crypto and you're quote unquote the crypto czar, you're the chair of that committee, doesn't mean that Charles isn't going to have an active role in said committee, right? I'm not sure what they're going to call this panel, this branch, this department. Maybe it's exactly that. Maybe it's a committee. Either way, I think that Charles is going to have a role there along with other prominent figures. And I think what he's saying is that the lead role of crypto czar is not, or at least it shouldn't be represented with someone that has a vested interest in one particular crypto, right? In the same way, I don't think I would like to have Michael Saylor as the crypto czar, right? Because, well,
Everything's illegal except Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. And so the same could be said for Charles. I think he'll have a seat at the table. However, he's not going to be the one that makes the ultimate decisions on the direction of crypto industry. Well, because it might not bode well for other projects outside of Cardano, right? Or at least he probably would give a leg up to himself. Now, we like to think that he'd have an unbiased approach, but let's be realistic. It's a conflict of interest there. So I think that you'll see Charles. I think that you'll see Brad Garlinghouse. I think you'll see CEOs of exchanges. Maybe Brian Armstrong doesn't get the crypto czar, but maybe he has a seat at the table as well. I mean, there's Jesse Powell. There's a ton of names there. So I mean, I guess the list of candidates are long, but I don't think I'd like to see the founder of a crypto chain be in that role myself personally. So
I do want to share this piece of news. So we talked about Microsoft potentially getting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Well, there's another company, Rumble. It says Chris Pavlovsky, the founder and CEO of Rumble, putting on X, should Rumble add Bitcoin to its balance sheet? Take a guess who chimed in.
Michael Saylor.
That's right. Michael Saylor said, yes, I would be happy to discuss why and how. And then he said, DMing you now. He also put out a poll, Chris did, 43,000 votes, and 94% of people said, yes, Rumble should add Bitcoin to the balance sheet.
Now, the interesting thing is that Rumble in itself, its business model is to have free speech, to be decentralized media, right? With free of censorship. So Bitcoin in itself, at least in the financial sector and in real world assets, essentially embodies that, right? It embodies, peer-to-peer transfer of value without an intermediary. And I think that, essentially that's what Rumble does, right? It's a peer-to-peer, right? Someone makes content and it goes to somebody else, and the government or any kind of agency or sponsors can't say, hey, let's not send that. Let's not create that content. So in a sense, Rumble in itself is a decentralized peer-to-peer video sharing platform. I think Bitcoin lines up with the values right there.
I wouldn't say decentralized, but yeah.
Why not?
Because it's not decentralized. It's controlled by a central entity, which is Rumble.
Yeah, well, I mean,
no, they don't censor.
Bitcoin is controlled by the miners, right, and the nodes, and so there's always a point of control, and so there's a platform that controls it, but they're not pulling down videos. I mean,
well, that's their stance, right? Is they don't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Their business model and their motto is essentially like, hey, censorship, governments can't come in and block content, and that's.
But one company holds the gavel. Right. One miner doesn't hold the gavel.
Yeah, but they have at least shown to this point.
No, I agree with you.
They haven't wielded that.
Yeah, right? I agree with you. They're definitely not. I'm not going to say the name because we're on the platform. But yeah, they're definitely more of the creator focused, free speech. We don't take anything down. Whether people agree with it or not, it's on there. You make the decision, and so it'll be interesting to see if that does happen. You also have biopharmaceutical company, CureX Pharmaceuticals is buying up to $1 million in Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. Now, I know $1 million doesn't sound like a lot when you have Michael Saylor buying $4.6 billion of Bitcoin, but you're going to see more and more of this. And eventually, you're going to hit the big one. You're going to hit the Microsoft. You're going to hit the Apple. You're going to hit the NVIDIA. You're going to hit, I don't know, maybe Google. Who knows? It's coming, man. It's coming. I think this is gearing up to be the most dynamic bull run we've ever seen. Not just in Bitcoin, but in altcoins as well. You know, the title of today's show is Bitcoin Dominance Gains. Altcoins are about to run. You take a look at Bitcoin's dominance. Over 60% of the $3 trillion of a market cap is in Bitcoin. Now, that will bleed off and get closer to that 45 to 50%. Which leaves room for altcoins to run. We'll talk about
if it gets down to 30%, especially with the market cap of crypto. And
I don't know. You think? I don't think it'll get back to.
It got to 30% in the last two bull market cycles. You don't think it'll happen again? Hey, until the trend is broken, I'm expecting it. You don't believe me?
I don't think it's the right one. Here we go. Bitcoin dominance. Let's take a look. I'm curious. So Bitcoin dominance got down to 32% in 2018. Mm-hmm. That was the lowest it got to was 32%. The second lowest was around 40%. And so I just
2018. Then look at 2020. It did the same thing.
2021 got down to 38%. So closer to 40, right?
But it's still 30%.
38%.
Okay. I said, you don't think it's going to happen. It happened in.
I know, but I just
before.
think. But okay.
So you think this time is different?
Hold on. Yes, it is different. This time is different. It's literally different. You have ETFs, you have options, you have strategic reserve. So you're sitting here saying we're getting a strategic reserve bill. We have all these ETFs, all these inflows, and nation states are adopting it, and Bitcoin's dominance is going to drop to 30%?
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just think it's
probable.
I think it's more likely to happen than not. In the same way that we look at
how does that make any sense?
Chart because it's happened every cycle before.
But we've never had a strategic Bitcoin reserve.
You can say that you're always going to have a different narrative, and then you know what? In 2027, we're going to have the same conversation. Be like, well, this time is different now. All of a sudden, it's the world reserve currency is Bitcoin. Like whatever. It's always going to have the same variable. It's going to be the same narrative with different variables, right? The last time it was like, well, Bitcoin, the altcoins, the SEOs of Bitcoin, right? The coin offerings and all these startups, that's a thing of the past. Yet exchanges blow up. Bitcoin is going to dominate. We've heard this narrative over and over again. I'm telling you, man, it's going to spill over. Dominance is going to fall. Thank you.
It's not going to get lower than 40%.
It happened before, and it happened before.
Sure, it also happened before that. A lot of things happened before.
And you could have said the same thing in the last bull market.
What I don't get is how, in the same breath, can you say that nation states are going to adopt Bitcoin and have a Bitcoin strategic reserve, and then Bitcoin's dominance is going to fall to 30%? Unless you think they're going to do the same.
I just go off of history and charts, brother.
In history, we've never had a Bitcoin reserve. So what about that? Wow. Yeah. So your idea's flawed.
In last bull market, we had a different narrative, right? You could have said the same thing.
But it's not a narrative.
It is narrative. Your narrative is that
it's an objective fact that changes the way.
It's a fact that we're not going to go under 40%.
No, it's a fact that we have ETFs and Wall Street buying. It's a fact we're going to have a strategic reserve bill. It's a fact that nation states are adopting Bitcoin, something that has never happened. That is a fact. And when you draw from that fact, then you say, okay.
There's also a fact that every Bitcoin cycle post-halving, you see the dominance drop under 40%. That's also a fact.
Correct.
That's a fact that's played out time and time again. And the fact that you think it might not happen this time because of variables that have changed, I'm just saying that you're pointing out certain facts that prove your theory. I'm pointing out facts that prove mine.
You're pointing out historical facts of what has happened before.
And you're pointing out hypothetical facts that haven't
not
come to be.
hypothetical.
You're hypothetically saying that nation states, it hasn't been passed.
Have they not?
It hasn't been passed.
Has El Salvador not done it?
Okay, they did it last bull market, and we saw the dominance.
You don't think?
Okay, so you're pointing that. So we had our first country adopt Bitcoin as
You're talking
legal
about a country
currency.
that's outside the top 50 in GDP,
and we still saw dominance fall down. What I'm saying is that you're trying to say facts and I
want to know what the chat thinks. I want to know what the chat thinks. Will we see low 30% Bitcoin dominance ever again in this cycle?
Not low 30%. I never said that. I said 30%. Will it be in the 30%? Will it fall under 40%?
Will Bitcoin dominance fall in the 30% range this market cycle? Put a 1 for yes, put a 2 for no. I'm curious to see what the chat thinks. All right, let's move on to altcoins. Altcoin trading volume has surged past $300 billion for the first time.
I wonder if this indicates that altcoin season that saw Bitcoin dominance fall.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. That's a beautiful article you pulled up
crazy,
right after a narrative.
It's not an article, it's a post on X.
Okay, post, yeah, for sure.
But here's the interesting thing here is we're seeing 2021 volume levels, but not all-time highs. The only coin or the only token that's gotten an all-time high was, in the top 50 was really Caspa, right? It's not sitting there now. You have Caspa, you have Sui, and that's pretty much it. Outside of Bitcoin, that's it. Nothing else has made an all-time high. You're talking about 2021 when everything was at all-time highs. We're seeing the same volume minus the all-time highs. So alt season is coming. Now, I think the tides are going to rise more congruently this time. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, sure. But I think this altcoin season is going to make people a lot of money. And then I do want to share a couple posts here. So speaking of altcoins, our friend Forrest posted this on Sistine Research. Any meme coin on any chain can now agentify on Virtual's protocol by providing liquidity with Virtual token. Whiff, Bonk, Brett, Pepe, Popcat, all your favorite SHIB, Doge, name it, can all bridge some liquidity to Virtuals and create an AI agent on the platform without having to launch a new token. And this has already happened. One project, I believe it was, what was the name of it? KeyCat. KeyCat did it. So essentially, you can take Dogecoin or SHIB or Pepe and make it an agent by providing Virtual Protocol some liquidity, where it can do what we've seen the agents do on Virtual's protocol. And this was a post from the actual platform. Starting today, all graduated agents on Virtuals can interface with the game framework to access agent capabilities. This will move us into an era of agent times agent handshakes. The graduation requirement has been reduced from 100,000 virtual token to 42,000, allowing smaller communities and agents to thrive on Virtuals. You never know which one of them might be the next BAYC for agents. Virtuals protocol is one that Forrest has been talking about for a while. I've dabbled in it. I've been exposed to this project for a few weeks. And this is something that you guys watching our community, you guys should have your eye on. This is currently sitting at, I think, 480 million. Let's take a look at where Virtuals is. And again, this is on Base. So a Coinbase listing is very likely. It's currently listed on, it's pretty much on DEXs, right? You have Aerodrome, Uniswap. Doesn't have a tier 1 exchange yet, But I definitely think it's going to get a Coinbase exchange, especially if it becomes the number one traded token on the base or on the base network on Coinbase, right? This is a base token. You're looking at a $551 million market cap with capped supply at 1 billion. So no inflation, and all 1 billion tokens are currently circulating. Right? This is what we call perfect tokenomics, my friend. Fully diluted, and the market cap are completely in step with each other, 552 million. This could potentially be, I mean, if you're a believer in AI and that AI is going to be big, and even if you were to go into a sub niche of AI and say AI agents, sentience is going to be big, this is your number one platform as of right now, right? It was kind of Fetch was in the lead, and then they started doing the ASI thing. And then people lost track of what Fetches really do, right? They came out, the AI agents was their thing, right? You have some other ones as well. But Virtual's protocol, man, put this thing on your radar. $550 million market cap. This could be a $20 to $30 billion market cap token if AI does what I think it will do.
And then just a little love to the chat.
No, real quick.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, please.
Injective. So Injective is following suit, right? INJ. Their AI agent software developer kit empowers users to build on-chain agents. So the narrative is not going anywhere. And so here you have a top DeFi project that is now also dabbling into the AI agent space. Don't fade the space. Go ahead.
All right. And if you're new here, say something. We'll give you a little shout out. We got Zoran B, Only Winner, Den Pie, Extreme Ripple, Mike Morris, Vibe Nail, Alibaba, Maury Diaz, Dan G, FPV Drones, No S, Hedazo, also George, AMAC, Coors Lightyear, and Muhammada.
Did you say Coors Lightyear?
Yeah, Coors Lightyear. Crypto 7 as well. Jim Kramer in the house.
Oh, shit.
And then
Jim, what's your favorite? What should we?
Also, a big shout out to Destroyer. You know, he's a whale member for 29 months. So going on 3 years whale member here.
Man, I want to give a shout out to all the people that are members of this channel. I want you guys to know something. We here as a company have not taken a single dime, not a single dime of money out of this business. All the money that we get from sponsors, all the money that we get from you, the community, all your support, 100% of it goes back into the production quality, the equipment, the software, everything that we believe you guys deserve as quality production and content. And so thank you all for supporting us. And also big thank you to the moderators as well, making sure the chat is active, answering questions. I do want to say we're going to start seeing, and we are, start seeing a lot of new people, their first cycle. They might have some questions. Let's make sure we embrace these people. We help and educate them and make sure they know everything they need to know to stay safe and make money in crypto. So shout out to you guys.
And also win new whale member.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Robin over here with his panhandling.
Yeah, man, what was panhandling?
I literally just thanked everyone, and you're over here like, hey, by the way, you got an extra.
I'm trying to thank our newest whale member that's going to join that hasn't yet joined yet.
I am once again asking you for your financial support. That meme is one of my favorites. Yeah. All right, Rob, let's take a look at the markets.
All right. So
also, as you go through, if there's any altcoins you think that when the alts start to really rally, which ones do you think will run first?
Run first? Well, I'll kind of give you my expected altcoin outlook here, which we also have a pretty good outlook on our almanac that's going to be available for pre-order hopefully tomorrow. We're finalizing that. But anyways, we got Bitcoin back down to the 93.9. So we've been hanging around this 94K mark, briefly hitting resistance at 95,000. We do think that here at the channel, we'll get to that $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of the week, hopefully by the end of Friday night. Going into the altcoin space, you know what? We've seen a pullback in the alts. There's a lot of red here. So if you look on the 24 hours, a lot of red until you get down to our channel favorite, Cardano, which is up 6.5% on the 24 hours.
Cardano video coming out today.
And Cardano's sitting around 80 cents right now, up 40% on the week.
Tell them.
So we've been talking about Cardano as a project that we're looking at when it goes parabolic.
Tell
them what?
Tell them about the golden.
The golden almanac? Have we not mentioned that yet?
Remind them.
Yeah.
What do they get?
Well, first of all, the almanac, you get a physical copy, but you also, for the almanac, you also get a digital copy. It's an NFT. It's native on the Cardano blockchain, and you get to pull it up with as an ebook reader through the Vesper wallet. And anyway, so you get a digital copy. But also, we were going to reward one person. One person's going to get the golden almanac. So that NFT does carry 1,000 ADA with it as well.
1,000 ADA, baby.
And so I'd expect by the time you get your magazine, Cardano will probably be over $1. So it'll be over 1,000.
Hear me. Listen to this, guys. If you think Cardano is going to get to $3 to $5, we're talking about $3,000 to $5,000 if you get that golden almanac that you could potentially have in your wallet, man. That's,
you know what's funny is that we bought that Cardano for the golden almanac when it was at 30 cents.
Yeah.
And what did we spend? We spent $300 on it.
Yeah, like $350.
Yeah, we spent $350
for the Coinbase fee, you know.
Yeah. And so it's nice to see that investment, you know, which cost us $300, could potentially earn somebody $3,000, $5,000. It's
gonna be awesome, man.
Yeah. So
we're excited. Anyway, sorry I interrupted.
Yeah. So back to the markets here. So a lot of red. So there's really not much up in the green. And so if you take a look at the 24 hours here, what is up? You got Cardano, Stellar Lumens, which we just put out a video yesterday on the XLM. Also, Kronos is up, but only about 4 projects up more than 1% in the 24 hours. So a little pullback in the altcoin space. But let's see what is down. There's a lot down here. The meme coins have been taking a big hit today, big pullback in meme coins. You have Peanut down 18%, as well as Popcat and Mogcoin down 15%.
Rob, am I crazy to think that Peanut can get to $10 billion?
It's possible, yeah. I mean, that's only a 7x from where it is now.
You crushed it on that trade.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? One thing with meme coins, though, guys, you know, I've said 20% of your portfolio, if you want to maximize your gains, should be in meme coins. But I also want to note, they're very volatile. So if you can't stomach watching 20% of your portfolio go down 20% in a day, don't do it. But if you can stomach it and you put the time in, you put the research in, you understand the risks of it, and you're willing to part with that money if something goes wrong, then you could be potentially rewarded a lot. And so I just want to throw that disclaimer out there. It's a lot of meme coin trading. I've been in the space a while. I've lost a lot of money on meme coins, but I've made more money than I've lost. And that is the key, right? You're talking about, think about sports bettors. If a sports bettor has a 55% win rate, they're like a god. Why? Because that 5% is all you need. Above 50% is all you need. You just need to have more wins than losses. It's just, are you willing to stomach the losses and continue to go with your plan to get those gains and outweigh those losses?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And then lastly, to answer your final question, is what do I think is going to perform well this bull market or when Bitcoin
when all start to rally?
When also
Yeah.
so let's just
Like,
say,
what do you want to have exposure to?
hypothetically Bitcoin crosses over 100,000 and consolidates for a few weeks over 100K. If that scenario plays out, we would expect a major move in the altcoins, and I think leading the charge, I'm going to throw Avalanche out there.
I was going to say Avalanche.
Yeah, I mean, I think Avalanche is
so undervalued. It's so undervalued.
It's been a while. So I would say Avalanche. I think that within the next coming months, I think that what we'll see is the off the grid game go live with their NFT marketplace.
I was going to say, the store's not even open. That's where you get the transaction.
And so once that goes live, then at that point, we're going to see transactions shoot through the roof. And so, yeah. Also, big shout out to Muhammad, $10 super chat.
You know, something about Muhammad, when he first started like talking in the chat, I thought it was one of those annoying guys. This goes zero, this goes zero.
No, he's still annoying.
No, I like Muhammad, man. I think he's funny. But his super chat says, thanks for your crystal ball analysis. I need to change the E battery in mine to keep showing 8 to 0. You know what, Muhammad? If you don't want to hold any data, that's fine, man. But you know, don't sit there and cry when we make some big gains.
And then Kay asked if we're gonna have Charles on the show again. You know, the last time we interviewed Charles, he did say that he'll make time to meet us at the studio next time around. So, when is that next time? I don't know.
He's traveling to DC a lot, so Hopefully, when he comes back and visits us, he'll have a lot of alpha to give us. Okay, so you're at Avalanche. I'm 100% in agreement with you. That's my number one.
Yeah.
My number one being down. You take a look at what is down the most on I'm looking at the weekly, right? Let's take a look at the market cap. So, XRP's up 60% on the week. That's awesome, right? Cardano's up 40%. Avalanche is up 2% on the week, down on the 24 and the 1 hour. Looking at a $33 Avalanche, I think we're going to, like what we just saw with Cardano, I think we're going to see with Avalanche. And so, again, these projects, these solid projects, right? They lull you to sleep with boring price action. You see everyone celebrating on social media. You see all these influencers and content creators talking about, oh, Sui's run up to all-time highs. Solana's going to get to 1,000. And there's no love to Cardano. There's no love to Avalanche. There's no love to, I don't know, right now, Caspa's kind of been up and down, up and down, up and down. But I'm telling you guys, right now, from that video, the lady in the, anyways. But I'm telling you guys right now, do not let the Avalanche price action lull you to sleep. This thing is going to run. And when it runs, it's going to run like Cardano did. It's going to run like XRP just did. It's going to run like Solana did. From $12 to that $25 and up to where it's at now. Do not sleep on Avalanche. Also, do not sleep on Chainlink. Another boring one, right? Boring price action, boring fundamentals, boring what it does. But it is the pinnacle. It is the centerpiece, the nucleus of smart contracts, of DeFi, of RWA, of everything that you are bullish on in crypto. Without Chainlink, that doesn't exist. Let's put it that way. So don't sleep on that either. Definitely sleep on Polkadot. You can take an edible and go to sleep and wake up in 5 years. It'll be $5. Near Protocol, Stellar Lumens. I know this thing is up 100%. Man, oh man. You remember when I was talking about this at 9 cents? I was like, guys, don't sleep on XLM. No one's talking about the biggest narrative is RWA. They're the number 2 network for RWA in the entire world. Stellar Lumens, yet no one talks about it. But we did right here, baby. XLM, if you followed our analysis and you got some XLM, you're up 2x. Congratulations to you. Those are just a few ones. There's a lot of great opportunities here. And when you see red in the markets like this, Uniswap down 8%. Hedera down 12.5%. ICP down 4%. Sub $9, right? Again, if you're big on AI, you think AI is going to be massive. You think technology is important. You think on-chain is important. You think interconnectivity, right, is important. How do you sleep on a project like the ICP, right? The biggest thing I hear is, well, look at this chart. It's pretty much a flat chart. A lot of people don't know the history of it, right? I'm not going to get into the history here.
Yeah, so we'll just say a market maker took advantage.
They got fucked.
Yeah.
They got fucked.
By Alameda Research, formerly...
the dude who's in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it that way. So those are mine. Any objections or anything you want to add?
No, I think those are all solid.
Yeah.
One other one I'm looking at, it could have a failure to launch, but I have a feeling you're going to hit a home run with it, is Phantom. Phantom at sub...
Phantom's another sneaky one.
Yeah, I mean, it's underneath, or it's outside the top 50, and we saw the dominance that Phantom had last bull market. We have yet to see the big DeFi push, right? We've seen AI narratives run. We're seeing the meme coins narrative run. And what do you think is next for an area of crypto to pop off? I look no further than DeFi. I mean, it's the crown jewel of crypto utility, right? It's financed without an intermediary, and Phantom does it better than, well, anyone else does as far as top to bottom. So I would expect Phantom to perform very well. Wouldn't be surprised to see it briefly get into the top 20 this bull market. I think that it does get very streaky. It has a community that will kind of pile in and get behind Andre Cronje, which is one of the
godfather of DeFi.
Yeah. So, could we see it? Could we see a big run out of Phantom, break into the top 20, which we would expect perhaps a 5 to 10x out of Phantom if that happened? I think so.
I did end the poll. Will Bitcoin hit 100K this week? Only 59% believe yes. 40% believe no. What's your vote? I'm a yes.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
By week, we mean Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Guys, we're 5,000 away. We're not that far off. What is a $6,000 move at 94K?
You know
4%?
the beauty of the 100K is that it's such a large number that mainstream media is going to freaking run with that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wall Street's going to talk about it. And immediately, people that haven't really been paying attention to the price, that saw it perhaps last bull market, or maybe we're taking a glance at Bitcoin during the bear market where it got down to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 when the ETF went live. You're going to see this giant psychological 100K Bitcoin, and people that aren't quite plugged in might catch them off guard. They might be like, Jesus, it's $100,000. Like, I think that people will be surprised. Not us that have been following the price of Bitcoin on the daily, but I think that the people that, well, kind of forgot about it or dismissed Bitcoin will be like, holy shit, where did that come from? So,
Or if they're Irish, they're the holy shite. Anyways, that'll do it for the show today. Thank you all. If you're watching us and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, ping your notification bell on. We got 2 videos coming to you today. We got a Cardano video and a Sui video coming out. Also, make sure to follow us on X at Sin City Crypto 1. We'll be giving you guys updates on the Almanac. Man, wait till you guys see this thing. We are excited for you guys to do the pre-orders. We got something special. A lot of time and a lot of money went into this, but we're excited. No one's ever done something like this. A comprehensive guide. We called it the Almanac. Started off as a joke. I made fun of you for it. And here we are $20,000 later. And we're doing it. So we're super excited and we appreciate your support. With that being said, Rocco, thank you all so much for tuning in. It was a pleasure. If your first time here, welcome to the Money Making Show. We're going to help you guys make a lot of money. And make sure to come back tomorrow, guys. Until then, peace.
Sin City Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.